Hi, I'm Philip Brown. I'm the Bearded Math Man. I'd like to share with you a few tips on what you can do to, well, spend a lot less time grading homework. And not only will you spend less time, the students are going to have a better idea of what it is they're doing correct and not doing correctly. You're going to have a better idea where they are. You are going to increase the student turn-in rate, and you're going to build rapport all at the same time. Stay tuned. I'll show you how to do it. Grading homework is one of the biggest time sinks in all of education. You can amass massive piles of work, and it can take hours upon hours of grading, pouring through papers and writing down notes and all those kinds of things. And yet, it offers you very little insight into what the students are doing in real time, and it doesn't seem to inform them whatsoever. And yet, homework is super important. It's practice they need, and most of them lack the discipline to do that practice without the consequence of a bad grade for not doing homework. Before I get into how to grade homework quickly, I want to make the distinction that I'm talking about homework, a daily practice sort of thing. I'm not talking about grading a test and a quiz, although I do have ways that I can share in the future with you guys of how to grade those things more quickly. In this video, though, I do have some tips on how to record and enter those grades in a way that can save you a lot of time. But what we're talking about is homework. How do we monitor the efficacy of homework, and how do we monitor if the students are actually doing their homework in a way that doesn't take a lot of time? So here's what I do. I have students do their homework, their daily practice homework, in their notes, and they keep them. And at the beginning of class, and I'll show you a time-lapse video of this in just a moment. At the beginning of class, I have a stamp. I just go around the classroom, stamp homework based on completion. And for completion, doesn't mean they have to get everything right, but they have to attempt all the problems. Now, for your particular class, completion might not be good enough. You might want them to get a certain number of them right. Doesn't really matter what it is that you will award completion for and full credit for, but you have something just real quick and easy that you're just going around the room and you're checking. Now, when I'm going around in the room and I'm checking, I'm talking to kids, seeing if they're having a good day. I'm asking them, how the homework went, if they have any points of confusion. And I'm also looking for patterns. If there's something that all the kids are missing, then I know I'm not doing a good job. I need to revisit that thing. And the nice thing about doing it right there at the beginning of class is when I review homework, I can hit that. It also gives a way for students that are a little shy to ask me a question. So they, a lot of kids, they won't speak up in class when we review homework as a whole, but when I'm talking to them one-on-one, they'll be very likely to ask me a question. So anyway, when I've gone through the whole classroom, what I do is I actually don't record the credit that I awarded, because I give full or no credit. That's it. And I'll explain how to handle that in just a minute. But what I do is I actually go back and I have a roster printed out, and anybody that missed homework or anybody that's absent, they just get a little mark by their name for that day. Now, I do offer students a chance to get credit if they didn't finish their homework and didn't do it. What they have to do is they have to see me during tutoring time and show me they completed it, and I'll give them 80%. Now, what you decide to do as far as makeup work is up to you, but I put a tight window on it. Homework that's late or incomplete, it has to be turned in the Friday of the week it was due. I don't want to be buried at the end of the quarter. And beyond that, if they're that far behind, they're practicing things that probably don't directly apply to what it is they're learning in the moment. So anyway, the other nice thing that happens when I'm going around the room, if there's a kid that didn't do his homework, or her, I address them right there. Hey, where's your homework? Why didn't you do it? And they're held accountable, and they have to answer me. There's no just sitting there passively not turning in homework and just waiting until they get a bad grade and and then trying to, I don't know, come up with excuses and weasel their way out of it. That immediate consequence, and it being right there in their chair in front of all their friends, is very, very powerful. Now, I don't berate them. I usually just ask them for why they didn't do it. I explain that they need to do it. And then I offer them an invitation to finish the homework or do it entirely and bring it to me the following day. So it's a really good way to redirect them into the behavior that you want. So the other nice thing about this is it's part of our routine. It's part of how we get class started. Everybody knows when they come in that if they had homework the night before, they're going to get it out at the beginning, and I'm going to go around the room and I'm going to look and see how it all went. And the last thing I want to talk to you about is how to enter grades. If you have a pile of papers and you're going through one paper at a time, and you have your grade book open on your computer, and you search for their name, and then you click on the column and enter their grade and hit enter, it takes a long time. I prefer to have a printed out roster, and I just fill out the column by hand, and then when I go to the computer, I just have to do it data entry. I don't have to look. I don't have to worry about them lining up. All I need to do is make sure I'm in the right column and the right class, and when I enter my whole column of grades on my roster, if my last entry is the last student on the computer, then I did them right. If you found this video to be helpful or useful, you could really help me out to make more of them by sharing it with your friends, clicking like, subscribing to my channel, or visiting my website, thebeardedmathman.com, where I discuss a little bit more about this in detail on my website and my blog. Anyway, thanks for watching.